Hi, this is Billy RL, real life. I'm here in the studio with the Resistance team. We just finished watching in its entirety the film Straw by Tyler Perry. This was the most disrespectful film we have ever seen in cinema history from a Black film director. Watching this film let us know more so than we ever had even imagined that Tyler Perry is mentally ill. The reason why he's mentally ill is because, before we decided to watch the film, well, before and afterward, but more so afterward, after watching Straw, we looked up Tyler Perry and Ryan Coogler, and we saw they have, taken pictures together and they were on stage talking about film together, laughing together, and, to Ryan, we wholeheartedly believe he sees Tyler as, hey, this is another brother bringing Black cinema to the forefront. But to Tyler, Ryan is competition. Let's just be honest. Ryan is competition. See, he got out one competition. He got one competition out the way. That was Spike Lee. Spike Lee doesn't really make films anymore the way he used to. So he got that out. But he got that competition out the way. Now the new competition is Ryan Coogler because I'm telling you, if you have not realized, all eyes are on Ryan because of this film that he put out, Sinners. Sinners is the film that has made more at the box office than any other film in cinema history. We know this because we researched this. It was the highest grossing horror film in filmmaking or film history. So this is a very strong film, and it has Black Panther put Ryan on the map too, but this film really did because even though Black Panther was international, Sinners is really international. The team and I, we saw yesterday that on yesterday, Friday, Thursday, not yesterday, Thursday on Juneteenth, several people in several states got together and had a smoke and stack juke joint Juneteenth party. This is how massive of a film this is. Tyler Perry knows all of this. He's seen all of this. Tyler Perry has been on social media and he's seeing this and he is afraid. He was afraid and he still is afraid. And so when the film first came out from Ryan and it got immediate attention, Tyler started shitting in his pants. And he started shitting in his pants because of the fact that here is this filmmaker who is not a part of the Illuminati in Hollywood. And he's coming forth and he's doing something that is greater than what Tyler Perry, has done. And so Tyler Perry is a puppet. Tyler Perry is a puppet of the Illuminati. Ryan is not. And Tyler Perry can't and has never done what Ryan has been able to do with this film. Not one Tyler Perry film has done what Sinners has done. Not one. And so Tyler began to get afraid. Oh shit, I'm going to be replaced with Ryan. I have to stop this. I have to bring out something that's going to take the attention off of Ryan and his film Sinners and bring it back onto me. Especially knowing that Ryan has this film out where the film is showing that Black people had culture before Europeans came over and forced their Christianity down our throats. Remember in the film Sinners when Swim said, unlike that Bible, we brought the blues over here with us, is in us. The blues, which is nothing more than Black culture. That film that Ryan put out, it is showing the positive Black culture that people have, the power that we have. We do have Black magic. We have it. We have Black gifts. And Tyler Perry is someone who has always hated Black people. Oh, yeah, he has made films of comedy spoofs about Black people, but when it comes down to it, Tyler Perry is the equivalent of Candace Owens. He secretly hates Black people. So the fact that Ryan put out this film where it is showing, I mean, strong strength Black people, even from not only from the plot, but even the characters, Tyler Perry said, no, I gotta stop this. Because then this is what Black people will flock to from now on. And they won't flock to what I am bringing forth from now on, because my films are not like that. Because not one Tyler Perry film shows Black excellence, but Sinners does. And so Black Panther does, Fruitvale Station, even though that film ended in a tragedy, but that film in its own way does as well. None of Tyler Perry's films do this at all. So Tyler Perry decided to say, I'm going to outdo Ryan by rushing to put out a film. I mean, Straw, the film he has out now, this film was the first film that he has ever made that was made in such a short time. Never in his whole filmmaking run, his whole filmmaking career, has he ever put out a film, made a film in 2 days. But he was in such a rush because he knew if he didn't jump on the bandwagon quickly, Ryan is going to permanently be in the spotlight, and people want to forget all about Tyler. So Tyler rushed together to make this film, and he got the most desperate for work actress that he could get, Taraji P. Henson, because I'm telling you, and if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, and I don't think the team, because the team and I, we talked about this, I don't think we're mistaken, Michael B. Jordan has never played in a Tyler Perry film. Neither has, and I can't think of the actress who plays Annie in the film Sinners, neither has she. Delroy Lindo, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think the team's mistaken either, he hasn't. He's not going to get, Tyler Perry cannot get those top type of actors, because those type of actors are not going to participate in Tyler's buffoonery. But he can get a little Hicks, the chick like Taraji P. Henson, because Taraji P. Henson will. Just like with the film Monsters Ball. Monsters Ball, they weren't going to get Brad Pitt to run up in Halle Berry, because Halle Berry is just a plain old, she's not a class A woman in white Hollywood's eyes. And so, Brad Pitt and the many other actors, Tom Cruise, and those white actors like that, those are class A, prime A white actors for top quality class A, prime A white actresses. But so who were they going to get to run up in Halle Berry in Monsters Ball? Well, they'll use a hit like Billy Bob Thornton, because to Hollywood, even though Billy Bob Thornton is playing this and that, and he's won this award and that award, but to the rulers in Hollywood, Billy Bob Thornton is nothing but a redneck kid. So, he's white trash to them, even though we are sure he's not, but to them, to the rulers in Hollywood, he is. So they'll get some white trash like Billy Bob Thornton to run up in Halle Berry, because that's how low they think of Halle Berry. But the same thing with Taraji P. Henson. Tyler got Taraji P. Henson because, that's, she's the lowest of the low in his opinion. So he can get her to play this little low class, stereotypical, racist role here. He knew he wouldn't be able to get someone like Gary O'Union anymore, or Angela Bassett anymore, or Viola Davis, because those are class A Black actresses who they aren't going to do any type of shit that Tyler Perry's bringing, because they'll never say it out loud, but in their minds, well, Tyler Perry is bringing forth a shit. They're not being a part of that shit. Now, Ryan Coogler, yes. Spike Lee, yes. Tyler Perry, hell no. So the best that Tyler Perry can get is some little low-caste Southeast, the hood rat, former hood rat like Taraji P. Henson. Oh, yes, she'll do it. So Taraji P. Henson will probably do a softcore porno, because she has nothing really, and I'm not saying that to degrade her, but because she doesn't have the standards of someone like Michael B. Jordan. She doesn't have the standards of someone like Viola Davis or Angela Bassett. She doesn't have those standards. This is why she has no problems playing stereotypical roles that make Black people look bad. So this is what he decided to do. He got her and he made film in 2 days, and he put it out specifically when Sinners is out. Why do you think he did that? The rulers in Hollywood told him to do that because, hey, Ryan's making you look bad, Tyler. And with Ryan making you look bad, they're going to have to get rid of you and focus on Ryan. because I mean, look at what Ryan has done. No film you have put out has ever done that. And so Tyler got scared, so he put out this film Straw to compete with Sinners, but no film can compete with Sinners. Not this year. Hell, they have 28 years later. Even that's not able to compete with Sinners. And so, but this is what he wanted to do. He put this film out to compete with Sinners and to counteract Ryan's message from the film Sinners, because Ryan's message in Sinners is all about staying true to your culture, your heritage, unity, community, equality. And so that's not a message that Tyler Perry stands behind when it comes to Black people, because Tyler Perry doesn't like Black people, all skin folk and kinfolk. So Tyler Perry put out a film that's basically telling the world, remember, that's what you see in Sinners. That's not who Black people are. Black people are all criminals. They're poor. They're angry. They're violent. They're uneducated. That's the message of Straw. That is the message of Straw. And that goes contradictory to the message of Sinners. Black people can look at the film Sinners and be proud. Black people can look at the film Straw and feel ashamed. That is also the message of the elite. The elite want people to feel that Black people are nothing but thugs, violent, they're angry, they're uneducated. That's the message that they want to put out. And so Tyler Perry, being a puppet of the industry and of the elite, that's what he has decided to do. And, it's not going to work. And if Tyler Perry is listening to this, I'm telling you, Tyler Perry, I and the team were telling you, it's not going to work. You are not going to win, because what you are doing is you're putting down people who look like you. And every time people do that, they always lose. Look at Candace Owens. She tried to do that for so many years. She put down her own people. And then what happened? The people that she was uplifting against the people that she was downgrading, those same people that she was uplifting, they turned on her. And now she's so much more somber now. Another man did this. His name was Tommy Sotomayor did that. Tommy Sotomayor, for so many years, was just a total downgrader of his own Black people. And so what they did was the people that he was uplifting, the racist white people, they turned on him. And now he has done a total 360. This film Straw is nothing but a loose energy sucker. You watch this film, because I'm telling you, I and the team, we watched it, and there were times when we were angry, we were upset, and we had to catch ourselves. Wait a minute. No, that's not what you want to see in a film. Now, even when you go see a horror film, you're going to get scared in a horror film, but then at the end, that's it. But from the beginning of Straw to the end of Straw, you are not feeling like you just got your ass kicked. That's loose energy extraction. This is why the elite wanted him to put out this film, because it counteracts everything that Ryan put. Because I'm telling you, the movement that has come from Sinners, you all just don't know. You haven't been on social media. This film, and I don't know, and I do know, the universe and the ancestors are behind this film. We're telling you, this film has brought out some of the most greatest positivity that we have ever seen. We have ever seen, ever. And this is something that was needed. This was needed in a time where not only Black people, but, and I'm not talking about, and we have nothing against Europeans, but we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about the minorities. At a time when the minorities, and we're not talking about Spanish people, we're talking about the minorities depicted, in this film, the Blacks, the Irish, and the Chinese, at a time when those three minority groups were getting their butts beaten every single day and have been. This film comes out and it just improves their morale. And we've seen it. And the elite can't have that. They want people to feel broken down. So they have Tyler Perry to bring out this film to remind people, specifically those who are minorities, remember who you are. You're poor. They are uneducated. they are prone to commit violence. Remember who you are. You will never be better than that. Whereas Sinners teaches you, yeah, you can be better than that. You can be so much better than that. You can be the victor. You can go and chase your goals and dreams, and you don't have to forego your goals and dreams to go after the European Christianity, like Sammy's daddy wanted him to do. All of these things, the elite don't want that message out. Now you may say, well, the elite don't want that message out. How come they allowed this film to be in theaters? Again, when the universe is involved in something, nothing is going to stand in the way of it. And I'm telling you, the universe, Ryan may not realize this. Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo and I can't think of the other girl, but all of them, they may not realize this. Haley Steinfeld, they may not realize any of this. But the universe was involved in the making and the release of that film because for this film, and if your eyes are closed and you look at the film, it's just a regular film. But the universe was behind because that film was needed. The team has seen since that film has come out, Black people's morale go up. Yeah, we are strong, we're powerful. And the Irish, right after that film, the Irish in Ireland, they're going to protest the government. That's where we got to take that. That wouldn't have happened, we truly believe, had that film not come out. And so that film has brought out something great and minority people and the elite, even though they tried to do what they could, and they did, they tried time and time again we got to stop it, we got to block it. They had one film critic to say, yeah, well, it made a lot of film made a lot of money at the box office, but I mean, it didn't make a lot as if as much as it was supposed to. And the universe had one of their own, a European, Jimmy Kimmel, come and say, what would you say that for? No, don't say that. See, when the universe is behind something, nothing Enki, Marduk, and their puppets do is going to stop it. And so this is what, again, it's okay, well, we couldn't stop at the box office. Well, let's use Tyler. Tyler, you go out there and you put out a film and just contradict everything that was shown. So contradict it, make everybody angry, violent, poor, mentally ill, contradict it all. And that's what this film does. If you watch this film here, you would think this is how Black people have the sense. They hallucinate things. They're going around robbing people. They're going around, what the fuck you me? Y'all gotta leave it. This is what Black people are. This is what you would think. And you would think, oh, well, did you see Sinners? Yeah, I did, but that film was not based in reality. What Tyler Perry this showed and strong. That's what's happening. No, it's not. And specifically, there was a line in the film where Taraji said, yeah, Black women always have something to get over. What are you talking about? No, they don't. And choose meaning in terms of trauma. No, that's not true. Because you have a lot of Black women out there who have gone through their lives from birth to adulthood, never having any trauma whatsoever. Black women who have, grown up with a mother and father. Hell, some of them have grown up living on Martha's Vineyard or Vineyard or however it's pronounced, and they've had the best of the best. They've never, they've never even known what struggle is. So for her to say, yeah, Black women, they always have something to get over. That's to keep Black women feeling defeated. But that's right. I'll never be able to get out of this because I always have. No, that's making Black women the victim. Black women are not the victim. Black men are not the victim. Black women are strong. Remember what we went through in Africa. I mean, we used to carry loads of food on our backs. We built America. Everything in America we built. Hey, let's even stop it. The ADT systems, the home security systems was created by a Black woman. So, if we were so much filled with so much trauma that we have to get over, we wouldn't be able to do things like this. Black women are strong and amazing and powerful. And I and the team will say there is a such thing as Black girl magic. And not just black girl magic, but black boy magic. Black men have magic too. The things that black men are able to do. And even though I know that he is a puppet, but damn it, he's a powerful puppet. LeBron James. Name one white NBA player who was able to do what LeBron James has done. Black men have power. But if you listen to the elite, they will have you thinking that black men and women, boys and girls, they're uneducated, they are poor, they're always trauma bound, they're struggling, they have things to get over, they have mental issues, they have daddy. This is not true. There is a such thing as black excellence. And so um Straw is the worst film that has ever been made by a black film director. And I and the team have decided to stop calling him a black film director because he is not black. He is a film director because all skin folk surely ain't kinfolk. Because for him to make this film, what he basically was telling the world was, I am willing to disrespect and to tear down my own black people just because I'm jealous of another black filmmaker and because of the fact that I am doing what the elite tell me to do, because I'm telling you, Hollywood approves of Straw more so than they would ever approve of Sinners. And one example is how Hollywood wants to make a Sinners sequel, but they want to do it without Ryan. Why do you think they want to do that? Because Ryan has already said there will be no sequel to Sinners, but they want to make a sequel to Sinners because the sequel that they make to Sinners is going to be totally downgrading black people and upgrading Europeans, racist Europeans. That's why they want to do a Sinners Part 2. Sinners Part 2 will be nothing like Sinners Part 1 because they're not going to have Ryan, because Ryan said, no, I want it to be left alone. And it should be left alone. It's fine as it is because the message is only needs to be displayed one time. The message is clear. And so, but they want to, because when they make a Sinner sequel, it's going to be just like a Tyler Perry film. They'll probably have a revamping of Smoke is Dead, but they'll probably have a revamping of Stack, and Stack is on welfare, and in 2015 with Mary and all of this, and they're up there, and then he run up the brothel. They'll have all kind of everything that's negative. No, because that's what Hollywood does. Hollywood wants to show the worst of minorities, specifically. Yeah, they won't do this to the Jews. No, they won't do it. To the Jews, they'll bring up the best films, but to the blacks, and even sometimes to the Latinos, Hispanics, and Mexicans, and sometimes to the Chinese, and damn sure to the Irish, they will try to do everything they can to make stereotypical negativity things about those groups because they want those groups to feel like they're victims, like they can't make it, like this is all, the struggles that they're going through is all that they'll ever go through. And then other people are living just like that. So, yeah, this Tyler Perry film was horrible. And for people who say, well, he must be doing something right because he has a studio. Yes, he has a studio because the elite gave it to him. And as we're seeing, Tyler Perry is in the middle of a scandal. Ryan is not in the middle of a scandal. Spike isn't in the middle of a scandal, but Tyler is. And that scandal, if Tyler Perry doesn't clear this up, that studio he has and everything that's associated with that studio will be taken from them, just like R. Kelly, just like Harvey. Everything has been taken from Harvey Weinstein. So they're done with him. And so they'll do the same with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's studio is not his own. So don't come saying, well, Tyler Perry has a studio, Ryan doesn't. Well, you know what? And that's amazing. Tyler Perry has a studio, but he brings forth shitty films. Ryan doesn't have a studio, and all of his films are top tier. So that shows Ryan doesn't even need a studio to bring forth top tier films. But apparently, Tyler Perry, who has this huge studio, he can make anything, but he's still making shitty films. Ryan doesn't need a studio because Ryan hasn't sold his name in blood, signed his name in blood, excuse me, but Tyler has. And so everything Tyler has come from the elite. Tyler is a puppet. And this is why in every film he downgrades his own black people because that's what the elite told him to do. One last thing before we end this video. If you have ever seen the film Crash, they showed a scene similar to this in the film Crash. Terrence Howard was playing a black film, I guess he was a director, he had to be a film director, and he was on set and he was doing this urban film. And Tony Danza, if you don't know who he is, he played in the 80s show Who's the Boss? And he was playing as, I guess, one of the big wigs over top of Terrence's character in the film Crash. So they're doing the scene where this black young male was on the set of Terrence character's soundstage production. And so the black guy is talking, the young black kid, the young black guy is talking to another guy, and they're having this dialogue, and then uh, Terrence's character says, "Oh, I was trying to think of Terrence's character's name in Crash, but I cannot think of it. But if you see the film Crash, you'll know the scene where I'm talking about." So Terrence's character says, "Okay, cut, that's a wrap," or it's a cut, he says, "Cut, we're going to lunch." And everybody, all the actors on the production, they go off. And so as Terrence's character is walking away, Tony Danza's character goes up to Terrence and says, "Don't you think we should do that scene again?" So Terrence says, "Why?" Tony Danza says, "Well, whatever the black young actor in the scene, whatever his name is, let's say his name is Dante. Dante is not talking like how a black guy would talk. How black guys talk, how black teens talk, black people talk." And so Terrence looks at Tony like, "What do you mean talk like how we talk?" And so Tony Danza says, yo, homie, yo, the slang and about, no, I think you need to do it again. And so Terrence, his character really doesn't want to do it, but he knows if he doesn't do it, that film's going nowhere because Tony Danza is overtopping him. And the reason why I say that is because, let me explain this briefly. In Hollywood, if I'm like Quentin Tarantino, when he made Django Unchained, yes, he is the director. He wrote it, he directed it, but the studio is over top of Quentin. So if the studio doesn't want something in Django Unchained or does want something in Django Unchained, Quentin could say all he wants. No, man, come on, what the fuck? No, what does it matter? What the studio wants, the studio gets, because the studio is the one funding the film. Studio is the one, probably no doubt, that's on top of or in charge of the distribution. So it's even though Quentin is the director, the studio, the executive producer, and all of that, all the ones that are involved with the studio, including the executive producer, it's most of the times they are the real director. So what they say goes. If they don't like that a scene is a certain way, if Quentin doesn't change it, well, the studio is backing out. And not only is the studio backing out, the studios want to get in contact with the distributor and they're backing out, and probably the funds will back out as well. So going back to that crash scene, Terrence's character really does not want to do the scene over again where he has the black young teen talking in a stereotypical way, but he knows if he doesn't, Tony Danza's character is going to, basically shut the film down. So Terrence's character says, "Okay, let's run it again." And he goes and tells the black young character, "Look, you have to say it in a more stereotypical way." This is what it is with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry has been told the films you put out, because before Tyler Perry came along, it was just Spike Lee and it was John Singleton. But John Singleton, in his own way, he was doing stereotypical films because Boys in the Hood did not need to be done. To be honest about it, Boys in the Hood did not need to be done the way if everybody in that film was struggling. And then he did it again in Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow is not a film of black excellence. Hustle and Flow is a film that's short because you can look at well, I'm not going to say Will Smith, but I'm going to, in a way I am, because Will Smith, look at the rap he brings out. There's no bitches, motherfucker, like it was with the character DJ and Hustle and Flow. So John Singleton was doing the same thing. Baby Boy was another stereotypical film. But somewhere along the line, John Singleton decided to stop making films like that. So he said, "You got to go." Because one of the films he made was Rosewood, and they really didn't like that because that film was telling the truth about Black history, but didn't let him go ahead and do it. But then he wanted to go from making stereotypical films to making positive films. And he said, John, we don't want you to do that. No, but I want, okay, we'll take him out. That's why John Singleton is gone. So before Tyler Perry, it on the mainstream, it was Spike Lee and then John Singleton. Within John Singleton, after he left, it was Spike Lee. And Spike Lee, all of his films, and he has some, one of the films he has, it's with Ruby Dionysi Davis and Samuel Jackson. And Samuel Jackson, I can't think of which film it is, but Samuel Jackson was a drug addict. But that's not stereotypical because you do have Black people on drugs. But then he also had characters within that same film that were positive. Spike Lee was a positive filmmaker. So they brought in Tyler Perry to flesh out Spike Lee. And when Tyler Perry came on the scene, from his plays to his first beginning films, it was stereotypical Black people in prison, Black people doing this, that, and the third. And that flushed out Spike Lee. So they got Spike Lee off the scene. And after they got Spike Lee off the scene, the elite said, okay, now Tyler, continue making films that are stereotypical, continue making films that are making Black people look bad. And he kept on, and he kept on, and he kept on until Ryan came on the scene. And then Ryan became the latest threat. And this is why Tyler Perry came out with Straw. So, yeah, we as an entire team have said we are not watching anything else from Tyler Perry again. We are not going to support the elite's efforts in number one, bringing Black people down, making Black people feel bad about themselves. We are not going to support the elite's efforts in showing Black people as if they're just all poverty-stricken, uneducated, violent. We're not supporting that because we know better. We know that there is Black excellence. So, and we encourage all of you all, if you say, yeah, I'm Black and Black heritage is not, don't support this man because you are supporting an elite puppet who is doing nothing but damaging your Black people, the Black community. And enough is enough of that. So, Tyler, you know, you are pathetic. Tyler is pathetic. And the fact that he is so fearful and so jealous of another film director, that's a mental illness because he has no reason to be in competition with as anything. They should be working together. These are the only two people, the only two Black people who are really on the forefront making films. They should be working together. But the fact, and I guarantee you, I and the team, we guarantee you, Ryan doesn't feel the way about Tyler, but Tyler feels that way about Ryan. And so the fact that he does, Tyler has a mental problem. And another part of his mental problem is that he hates his own people. And it probably does stem from his mother or grandmother or whoever was in his life as a child, but he never got help for it. And I of the team, we don't feel sorry for him because he has the money to get help, but he doesn't want to get help. Instead, he wants to hate his own people. And so we are not going to support that either. We're not going to support a mentally ill film director. So this is our thoughts on it. So what I and the team have shared with all of you out there has been nothing but the facts, the truth, and the knowledge, which equals power. Black brothers and sisters, you white brothers and sisters, you Italian brothers and sisters, you Asian brothers and sisters, you Latino/Spanish brothers and sisters, and you African brothers and sisters. You all, each and every one of us, we have the power. And with having that power, we are able to see the truthfulness of this video that Tyler Perry presented. Don't watch it. Tyler Perry is lame, L-A-M-E, lame, and he's mentally unstable. And with that, we have presented all that you need to know about this homosexual Tyler Perry. peace, love, love, peace, and most of all, power. This is Billy Ariel, Real Life, and the entire Resistance team. Until the next time, take care, be safe, and most of all, use your power.